Hola, ¿cómo estás? Today, let's talk about comparisons of equality and inequality. And let's start with nouns. So I'll have a couple of phrases in English followed by those phrases in Spanish. In English, we have I have less books than my mom, but I have more books than my dad. The beginning, we have the conjugation verb, which is to have. Next, we have our words of comparison, more and less. And then they're followed by their other halves, then. So, less and more are both followed by then. En español es similar. Yo tengo más libros que mi papá y yo tengo menos libros que mi mamá. Here's the conjugated verb, yo tengo. Here's the comparison words, menos y más. And here's their other parts. Okay. So, menos y más will be followed by que. And this formula follows for pretty much all of the other forms. However, as we'll see shortly, there are some irregularities. Let's move on to adverbs. In English, I am better at reading than my dad, but I'm worse at reading than my mom. Again, here's our conjugated verbs. Here's our comparison words, better and worse. And they're both followed by then. So, better and worse are followed by then. En español, yo soy mejor leyendo que mi papá y yo soy peor leyendo que mi mamá. Again, we have our conjugated verb, our comparison word, and the followers. I don't want those in blue. So, mejor and peor are both followed by que. But hold on, these are a little bit weird. Why not say más bueno o más malo? Well, these are both examples of an irregular in this form. We'll go over that a little bit more in detail later, but keep that in your mind for now. Up next is adjectives. In English, I am taller than my mom, but I'm shorter than my dad. So, we have our conjugated verb, our comparison word, followed by then. Taller and shorter are followed by then. That's how we say it in English. En español, yo soy más alto que mi mamá y yo soy menos alto que mi papá. También podemos decir más baja que mi papá, pero los dos son correctos. I just wanted to use the first example as a better example of this. So, we have our conjugation, más alto y menos alto. It's another example. It's another example that's very similar to the nouns, except instead of a noun, it's an adjective, because we're comparing how tall I am to my parents, instead of how good I am of a reader, or how many books. Again, they're both followed by que. Más y menos are followed by que. Now, let's start to go over the irregularities a little bit more in depth. And for this, we'll use the example of a comparison of age. So in English, we can say, I am older than my sister, and I am younger than my mom. Again, we have our conjugation, our comparison, and the follower. So we have older and younger than. En español, aquí es un otro ejemplo de los irregulares. Yo soy mayor que mi hermana y yo soy menor que mi mamá. Here's our conjugation. Here's our comparison. And here's our follower. Mayor y menor are followed by que. Now, as you've probably noticed, I've already outlined right here what our irregularities are. For mejor y peor, they're más malo y más bueno. And mayor y menor, it's más y menos viejo, because it's another way of saying older and younger. However, for these irregularities, we have to use these. That's just another thing to get used to. So let's move on to comparisons of equality. These ones follow the same rules as comparisons of inequality, however, we've got some different words. So in English, we say, I am as old as my friend, I am as good at reading as my sister, and I have as many books as my sister. So, here's our conjugation, and here's our comparison. But in English, you'll notice that they're followed by as again. So we say as. So as good as bad as handsome as funny as, etc. En español es más similar. Yo soy tan viejo como mi amigo. Yo soy tan leyendo como mi hermana. Y yo tengo tantos libros como mi hermana. Again, our conjugations, our comparisons, and our followers. Now, you may have noticed that in the third sentence, yo tengo tantos libros como mi hermana, the word tantos is used. That's because tan and tantos are different because tanto usually refers to an amount of something, while tan refers to something's quality. So for in English, that looks like as many books as my sister. Yo tantos libros. But other than that, they're pretty much the same. So we have tanto, tanta, tantos, tantas, porque hay las formas de masculinos y femeninos, followed by como. Tan and tantos and its forms are both followed by como. En resumen, in English, our comparison words are followed by the word than. More than, less than, better than, worse than, taller than, shorter than, older than, younger than. Those are just a few examples, and obviously there's millions more, but they follow the same general format. In Espanol, menos, menos que, más que, mejor que, peor que, mayor que, y menor que. Spanish comparisons are followed by the word que, with mejor, peor, mayor, y menor being the irregularities. These ones are better and worse, and these ones are older and younger. And for comparisons of equality, we have as, our adjective, and then as. So, as good as bad as, etc. In Espanol es similar. Tan, our adjective, como, tanto, tanta, tantos, tantas, our adjective, and then como.